The New England Patriots are headed back to the Super Bowl, and fittingly, they earned it the hard way. On a bitter January afternoon in Denver, in a game defined by discipline, defensive resolve, and survival rather than style, the Patriots outlasted the Broncos 10-7 at Empower Field at Mile High to capture the AFC Championship. It was a victory forged in cold air, swirling snow, and high-stakes decision-making, the kind of game that strips football down to its most elemental form. Already, head coach Mike Vrabel and quarterback Drake Maye have accomplished something even the legendary Tom Brady-Bill Belichick pairing never did during New England's dynasty years: win an AFC Championship game on the road in Denver. It may not have been pretty, but it was unmistakably Patriots football. Adaptable, opportunistic, and ruthless when the moment demanded it. With the win, New England advances to Super Bowl LX in Santa Clara, California, where the franchise will chase a historic seventh Lombardi trophy. A victory would push the Patriots past the Pittsburgh Steelers for the most Super Bowl titles in NFL history and mark their 10th Super Bowl appearance in the last 25 years, a staggering level of sustained relevance across eras. This time, though, the path looks very different, a game reshaped by weather and restraint. What began as a crisp, manageable afternoon quickly transformed into chaos. Clear skies in the first half gave way to wind, snow, and near whiteout conditions after halftime. Visibility dropped dramatically, footing deteriorated, and the game became less about execution and more about survival. Both special teams units felt the impact. Patriots kicker Andy Borregals, who had already hooked a 63-yard attempt wide left as time expired in the first half, missed again from 46 yards in the third quarter. Denver's Will Lutz missed from 54 yards before halftime and later saw a potential game-tying 45-yard attempt blocked in the fourth quarter as snow swirled violently through the stadium. From that point forward, every possession carried added weight. Every mistake was magnified. And every decision became a referendum on coaching philosophy. Denver strikes first, but cracks soon follow. Starting in place of injured rookie Bo Nix, Broncos backup quarterback Jarrett Stidham couldn't have scripted a better opening sequence. After an early misfire on a screen pass, he bounced back by delivering a perfectly thrown 52-yard strike to Marvin Mims down the middle of the field. According to Next Gen Stats, it was Denver's longest completion of the entire season in terms of air yards. Moments later, Stidham sold play action beautifully and hit Cortland Sutton wide open for a touchdown, giving Denver a 7-0 lead less than 5 minutes into the game. The Mile High crowd erupted, breaking into chants of "Stiddy, Stiddy" as optimism surged. For a brief stretch, it looked like the Broncos had found lightning in a bottle, but the Patriots were already adjusting. The fourth down decision that changed everything. The defining moment of the first half came with 9:28 remaining in the second quarter. Facing 4th and 1 from the New England 14-yard line, Broncos head coach Sean Payton opted against an easy field goal. Instead, he chose aggression. The play failed. Under pressure from Patriots defensive lineman Milton Williams, Stidham threw short of the line to gain, turning a potential 10-0 lead into a turnover on downs. In a game that would eventually end 10-7, the significance of that decision only grew with each passing minute. From that moment forward, the Patriots began to tilt the field. Defense, patience, and capitalizing on chaos. New England's defense tightened steadily as the weather worsened. Pressure became the theme. Over the course of the game, the Patriots recorded 5 sacks and consistently disrupted Stidham's rhythm. The contrast was stark. When kept clean, Stidham was efficient, completing 12 of 15 passes for 123 yards and a touchdown. Under pressure, he was overwhelmed, sacked 3 times in the first half alone and going 0 for 6 through the air. Late in the second quarter, another pivotal sequence unfolded. A broken screenplay forced Stidham to improvise. As he attempted to escape, the ball came loose. Initially ruled an incomplete pass with intentional grounding, the call erased what appeared to be a Patriots scoop and score. Vrabel argued, officials conferred, then referee Alex Kemp announced the reversal. It was a backward pass. Suddenly, New England had the ball at the Denver 12-yard line. 2 plays later, Drake Maye powered in from 6 yards out on a quarterback run, tying the game at 7-7. As Stidham exited the field, Peyton delivered an animated reprimand, a visible sign of frustration as control began to slip. Snowball football takes over tries. By halftime, the stadium had turned into a snow globe. The second half belonged to ball control, clock management, and defensive endurance. New England opened the third quarter with a masterclass in situational football, a 16-play, 64-yard drive that consumed 9 minutes and 31 seconds. It included a controversial fourth-down quarterback sneak inside the red zone, a play Peyton unsuccessfully challenged, costing Denver a timeout. The Broncos' defense stiffened and held New England to a field goal, but the damage was done. The Patriots led 10-7, and more importantly, they had seized control of tempo. From there, the formula was clear. Ramondre Stevenson carried the ball 25 times for 71 yards, grinding down the clock and the Broncos' front. Drake Maye complemented him with timely scrambles, finishing with 10 rushes for 65 yards. In a game where passing was increasingly unreliable, Maye's mobility became a weapon. His final quarterback boot in the closing moments officially ended the contest. The final dagger, Denver had one last chance, but the Patriots' defense delivered the knockout blow. With 2:11 remaining, cornerback Christian Gonzalez intercepted Stidham, effectively sealing the game. Snow fell heavier. The crowd fell silent. New England knelt out the clock, not with celebration, but with the quiet confidence of a team that understood exactly what it had just accomplished. A new era, familiar standards. Drake Maye's stat line was modest. 10 of 21 passing for 86 yards, plus his 65 rushing yards and the decisive touchdown. But context matters. This was a game that punished mistakes and rewarded composure. Maye protected the football, made key plays with his legs, and never forced the issue. Mike Vrabel, in his first season as Patriots head coach, has now guided the franchise back to the Super Bowl through defense, adaptability, and discipline, traits long associated with New England's identity, even as the names and faces change. The Patriots didn't win because they were flashy. They won because they were tougher, more patient, and more situationally sound when the game demanded it. Now, with Super Bowl LX ahead and a chance at history looming, New England stands one win away from reclaiming the league's ultimate prize, not as a dynasty reliving its past, but as a franchise proving it never truly left. The New England Patriots are headed back to the Super Bowl, and fittingly, they earned it the hard way. On a bitter January afternoon in Denver, in a game defined by discipline, defensive resolve, and survival rather than style, the Patriots outlasted the Broncos 10-7 at Empower Field at Mile High to capture the AFC Championship. It was a victory forged in cold air, swirling snow, and high-stakes decision-making, the kind of game that strips football down to its most elemental form. Already, head coach Mike Vrabel and quarterback Drake Maye have accomplished something even the legendary Tom Brady-Bill Belichick pairing never did during New England's dynasty years: win an AFC Championship game on the road in Denver. It may not have been pretty, but it was unmistakably Patriots football. Adaptable, opportunistic, and ruthless when the